Now, let's talk about our system from a functional standpoint. Our system is designed to do three things. First, the system assists with document assembly. 2, the system assists with financials, including statement of net worth, child support calculations, as well as all equity positions. And finally, our system includes a full research library. To begin a walkthrough of all of these areas, we'll start at the Navigator bar, which is the dark blue bar you see now. Document assembly corresponds to the first tab on this bar, labeled Template Menu. When selected, a screen will open up titled Merge Template. In the upper left-hand corner, you can choose from 4 different types of templates: Tips templates, Modified templates, Client templates, and Client documents. Let's begin by exploring Tips templates. The system defaults to the first category, referred to as the Intake category. You'll notice to the right, there are 3 specific templates associated with that category: the Statement of Client Rights, the Retainer Agreement, and the Printable MIL. The Printable MIL is a report or printable version of the data we saw in the Master Information List. This is typically used one of 2 ways. You could print a report at the beginning of the case and use it to gather needed information. This would be done in place of the email process we discussed earlier. The second way this could be used is after you've completed your data entry. In this case, you may choose to print a report so you have a paper version of the information for your files. The next category, titled Litigation, you are offered a multitude of other templates. Today, we're going to focus on the second one, labeled Tips_008, or the summons with notice separation. You can open this one of 2 ways: by double left-clicking on the paper icon to the left of the name, or by highlighting the name and selecting the Merge Template button. Because we did not answer the questions husband, wife, plaintiff, defendant when we were on the Lawyers tab in the Master Information List, you will now see what I referred to earlier as a prompt screen. And again, this screen is asking you, are you representing the husband or the wife? For today, simply select either of those options. The next screen will subsequently ask you if you're representing the plaintiff or the defendant. Once you've selected an answer, the template will open. The first thing you'll notice are some big gray boxes. These boxes represent data fields, and these data fields will populate one of 2 ways. Either we put this information in the Master Information List, in which case the data would already be represented here, or we can actually type the data into the template. So let's say we're going to enter a county. We begin by placing the cursor over the gray area and left-click once. This activates that data field. You will now be offered a drop-down box to actually type your county into. In this case, let's say we are in Albany County. We type Albany into the box, and our system will automatically place Albany County in any other field where it thinks it belongs. The next thing you might notice are the single gray bracketed areas. You'll see these areas throughout our templates. These are called checkboxes. We use these boxes to indicate language we want to include or conversely exclude from our template. In the case of the caption, we've actually given you 2 ways to address the court. Let's say you choose to use the second method to address the court, addressing the court as the Supreme Court of the State of New York in the County of Albany. If you place your cursor over the gray area in that checkbox and double left-click, an X will be inserted. The X indicates that you want to include that language. A blank means that you want to exclude that language. You'll also notice as we scroll down to page 2 of this template, we also use this concept of checkboxes for legal language. In this case, the legal language is simply grounds. However, in some of our more complex templates, like a settlement agreement or a separation agreement, we may use these checkboxes to indicate paragraphs of language. In some cases, there may also be subparagraphs associated with the main paragraphs. If in fact you do want to include a subparagraph, please make sure you've indicated a checkbox for the main paragraph. Otherwise, your subparagraph will not be included. We're going to select 1 or 2 of these grounds, and then we'll continue working through our template. You may add any data that needs to be added to a data field or gray box, check off any languages that need to be included, And you can also make any changes to the white space similar to working in any word processor. When you're finished, you'll want to make this template look like a finished document. To do that, we'll use a concept called condensing the document. That will get rid of all of the boxes and will also exclude any language that you did not want included. The condense icon is the third icon from the right on the toolbar that is directly above your template. It's indicated here in the video. By clicking once, it will condense your document. You'll immediately notice that your document looks complete. Now, let's talk about the most important thing to understand about our program. That is the Save function. Now, in most software, when you hit the Save button, everything is saved. But in our program, that is not necessarily true. And that's because we have two save functions. This is designed to allow us to save two different things. First, we're saving data. Second, we're saving templates. To save data, or anything in the gray space, we go to File, Save Client, or as a shortcut, use the third icon from the left. To be on the safe side, we recommend that you do a Save Client frequently. This will help you avoid losing your work in the event of a computer problem. Now, we've talked about being able to make changes in the white space, from adding page breaks, changing a font, or adding a word. Or you could choose to alter our language by copying and pasting your own information. In this case, you're actually creating your own template. Once you have altered our template, in other words, altered anything in the white space, you must save the template in order to retain those changes. To save a template, simply go to File, Save Template, or Save Template As if you're saving it for the first time. The shortcut is the sixth icon from the left, indicated here. When selected, it will open a Save Template As screen. You'll first choose whether to save this as a client template or a modified template. Typically speaking, saving as a client template indicates you've made a change in the white space that will only ever pertain to that specific client. A modified template is a change you've made to the white space that may be useful in future cases or for a class of future clients. Next, on the Save Template As screen, you can enter a name for the template. You'll notice the original name is already indicated, but you'll also notice the word Edited is added to the name. This will always indicate to you that this template is either a client template or a modified template. You might also choose to create your own name for the template. To do so, highlight the current name and type in any name you would like to change it to. Always remember, however, you must retain the file extension in the name you choose. The file extension is .dtf. For example, if you were to simply name your template New, its full name would be new.dtf. This file extension allows the computer to recognize this template. Now we'll hit the Save button. And we'll talk about nomenclature for one more minute, but this time from a different perspective. Let's return to Template menu, which will return us to the Merge Template screen. You'll notice that the Merge Template screen now looks slightly different. You'll notice that the button that previously selected Tips Templates has now defaulted to Client Templates. This indicates that our system knows you've created a client template for a particular client, and it's asking if you would like to look at that template first. On the other hand, if you'd like to see all of the templates we've provided, you'll select Tips Templates, and all of the categories we saw earlier will reappear. For now, let's return to Client Templates and look at the name. Because your computer automatically named this template tips_008 edited.dtf, it now knows exactly what this template is. It's a summons with notice separation, and that description is visible to the right of the name. Had you renamed this particular template, the computer would not know what this template was, and therefore, instead of having a description of what this template is, it will simply read Renamed and have a date and time stamp next to it. So always keep in mind, if you choose to rename your template, and there can be many good reasons to do so, ensure that the name you choose in some way describes what the template is. This will help you avoid having to open the template to determine what it contains.